because I don't really have any notes to talk about for this game. ESEA invite again. ESEA invite season 13 week 1 CP process RC2 BP versus AG. The highly anticipated first invite match of the season. Live, almost 1 hour late. Watching Christopher roll out to mid. Christopher has a lot of free time to practice his rollouts, so Banny's equally fast, getting stickies on to each other. Really, Banny doing a nice job doing the damage, and here comes BP rolling in here. Tagarung jumping down the left side. Not really getting any rockets early on here, but both teams trying to get control of that upper areas. Banny kills Kapow very early on here as BP attempts to regroup. Lansky getting a nice shot on the Boink. Rando with an air shot onto Tagarung denies him completely. 4 against 3 in favor of BP. Sizer trying to finish off Christopher in the sewers. Good damage from him, but eats a pipe from Christopher. Nice job. Christopher surviving barely with 5 health, taken out by Shrugger. Shrugger trying to 1v1, takes out Squid. Only Kapow the respawner here. BP takes the first mid fight. BP doing a nice job there. Christopher matching up very nicely to Banny at the mids. What it really came down to was the scout play from BP. So looks like AG, Drogo, and Christopher trying to roll out to protect the Spire. BP regrouping at mid. Approximately even Ubers right now here. Christopher playing pretty far back on those battlements. I'm not quite sure why they're so far back here on even Ubers. They're only 15% behind now. Shade doing a very nice job building that Uber. Actually, Shade has increased the Uber percentage lead to 20%, so BP showing their experience. AG a little bit hesitant, worried about a repush. Score again 0-0. We just started the match. And Shade is getting the Uber right now. 30% advantage now. So Shade been building significantly better here as the Uber comes in for BP towards the lobby. They did take out Squidder. They need one more pick. They're finding the scout though. Kapow goes down. No scouts for AG as BP is defending the battlements. Here comes Drogo with the Uber though from the battlements trying to defend the Spire. Will he get there in time? Forces Tagarung off the point. Rando is really the only one alive here. Boink gets taken out on the side by Sizer. Sizer doing a ton of work. Banny getting some damage in there as well. Shrugger comes in, takes out Christopher. Drogo goes down as well. Rando in trouble. He dies to Sizer. Sizer getting some nice picks on the second point. And it's only Kapow left to defend the Spire. AG, not the best re-Uber from them. They were 30% behind. Shade was just building so much more efficiently. And then came in on the battlements through the IT. And that just did a ton of damage to all of AG. Their re-push on their Uber was just poor. So BP takes the first round 1-0. BP, the Banny Pugs team, so far in the lead right now. Let's see how the second mid works out. Banny, the fastest to mid. Christopher, a little bit slower. Banny landing those 2 stickies, almost 3 onto Christopher. Christopher only at 100 health now. As the teams are arriving to mid, Tagarung getting onto the crates. And doesn't look like AG is really contesting him. BP has complete crate control right now. And they're doing a nice job of keeping AG corralled at their choke. Now Sizer defending a soldier. Takes out Boink on his medic. And looks like it's 5v5. Banny getting a nice pipe as well onto the soldiers. And now 3 players go down for AG. They're in a bit of trouble as Drogo backs out with Rando through the IT room. BP with complete control of middle. Even Ubers. BP win the second mid fight as well. So BP playing a very strong game. AG trying their best. I like that little rollout there from Boink. Like the little slide. But BP moving through the choke now, trying to slow push it. Sizer doing some work from the Spire. And the Uber's forced by AG. I'm not sure this is the best Uber from them. Shade is a little bit stuck on his own though. He's gonna have to force out in the corner. No, he hasn't even forced yet. Shade is just hiding out in the corner, finally popping the Uber onto Sizer, pushing the trash right now with Lansky. Lansky taking out Rando. So much pressure onto the battlements. AG won't be able to contest the Spire now. BP aren't really getting any cap time as the soldier bombs in onto Shade. Shade missing the surf, but Boink goes down anyways. Drogo dead for AG, so they're in a bit of trouble. Shade's gonna have significant Uber advantage. No soldiers for BP, but BP soldiers got really aggressive, trying to push into last, and they did take out Drogo. Boink with his bomb, not as effective on a Shade. So BP, 40% advantage from them, building with Sizer on the battlement. So Sizer heads up play by him, building up quickly, 40% advantage. Looks like BP are going to be able to have that free Spire. They have the advantage that they want. And only Kapow is the off class with the heavy. Rando trying to peek something from the battlements, not really able to do much from there. And Shade's so close to Uber right now. They're going to get ready for this push as they begin buffing up their players and moving Let's see which way they take it. They're going to take it underneath, and that's a really good way to avoid getting hit by the sniper. Now they're going to be moving from the lobby. Kapow playing back on the battlements. Christopher has a trap towards the lobby door. The early Uber by Shade, pushing with Banny and Sizer towards the point. They're not really targeting the heavy. In fact, they're targeting the combo. Drogo goes down before he gets Uber. Squid trying to defend the point from the scouts here, and the rest of BP coming into the fight. Lansky doing some good damage. Tagarong takes out Kapow. We trade the Shrugger. Bandy trying to get stickies on the point, but it's 3v3. I don't think AG is going to be able to hold this. BP doing a nice job playing with the heals. Christopher full health on the point though. Lansky takes out Boink. It's only really Christopher and Drogo. Let's see if Shade's going to be able to do this. Shade isn't really committing to last. He wants to keep that Uber advantage just in case, but Christopher coming with some damage. Nope. Misses Shade. Kapow takes out Banny, and that's going to stop all pushing right there. So BP are going to just pull back, get that Uber advantage. Banny went down over there on last. BP did an Uber advantage push already, and that didn't work out for them. So let's see if they try it again. Squid takes out Sizer. That's going to slow down the push a little bit. Banny and Sugar go down as well. So AG doing a repush off Uber right now, catching BP off guard as they tried to build the Uber. And finally the Uber getting forced onto tag. Lansky gets some picks. Oh my gosh, AG is melting away now. Drogo at 20 health, trying to escape towards the spawn. Will he make it out? Overdosing towards the left side of last. BP pushing into last though. They're not going to try and let him out. So they do keep Drogo in the fight. They take him out, and it's a complete wipe by AG. BP finishes the round, winning it 2-0. So BP 2 for 2. They win both mid fights and they win both rounds. AG hasn't gotten a single cap yet. A little bit of a disconnection issue on the server. It looks like a pause. No, not quite a pause here. And we're watching the third mid fight. Banny beating out Christopher by a mile to this mid. Maybe Christopher, I don't know what he was doing. He just waited at the choke, so he didn't want to eat any stickies. Christopher gets decent damage onto the top as Tagrung bombs towards Drogo, trying to get damage onto Christopher. Takes him out. As well as himself in the process, but that's a good pick by Tagarong. BP is going to be able to move on that. Banny takes out Rando, and Squitter goes down to Sizer, so Sizer actually moving through the sewers, trying to get behind AG as Boink tries to do a suicide, gets taken out by Lansky. Sizer going behind, taking out Kapow, only Drogo alive, overdosing himself to last. At least Drogo's making it alive out of these last. He's playing a little bit wary, but he is making it out alive, and that's going to, you know, give AG the Uber that they need to defend last point. Let's hope that AG doesn't try and do another poor Uber defense on Aspire. Yeah, looks like BP doing a nice job of holding them out there. Even Ubers for both of these teams. Let's see if AG decide to push, or BP decide to push AG at last. Christopher has traps on the lobby as well as the deep left side. Sizer trying to fight a soldier, but gets a little bit overextended. Trades with Boink. Kapow playing sniper in the spawn door right side. Christopher spamming the lobby. 5v5. And BP are just going to wait for the respawn. Let's see what Sizer chooses to off-class to. Maybe heavy, maybe sniper? Look, he's going to go sniper. You know, I haven't really known Sizer for his sniping, but his sniping is, I would assume, better than Shrugger's. Doesn't quite match up to Clockwork sniping, though, unfortunately. But let's see if Sizer is going to be able to make a pick. He's peeking from that lobby side, and Kapow is contesting him. And actually, a soldier is making a pinch move from the ramp as well, so keeping Sizer in check. And Drogo doing a nice job keeping Kapow fully buffed. You know, AG haven't really been able to win these mids, and I think going back to the mid fights here, BP, with Banny rolling out so fast, he's really outplaying Christopher at the mids, landing those good sticky damage. Sizer almost gets taken out by Kapow with a fully damaged body shot. But yeah, there's really not much AG can do at the mids to counter BP unless they get fully aggressive, maybe to try and pressure Banny. But you can't really overcommit to Banny, or else his team will punish you for it. It's really coming down to the DM at the mids. As for the rest of the round, BP doing a nice job holding the Spire, not really allowing AG to push out. Oh, Kapow takes out Sizer, and let's see AG try and move on this. Boink and his scout are moving in the lobby. They might try and jump out and force Shade. Shade playing pretty far back up in the battlements. My team calls it the lounge. So, BP chilling in the lounge. And Banny doing a nice job pressuring out Rando, but Rando might try and make a move on the battlements. Drogo positioned with him. Sizer at the respawn now, so they're going to have to pull back. Sizer is alive. BP could possibly stand for a number of things. Bad push, yeah, maybe. Brown push. Big penis, I like that one. BP holding the battlements now. Even Ubers for both these teams. Nothing really happening here. A scout trying to poke Sizer in the lobby. And Sizer gets a decent shot on the Kapow, brings him down to 16 health, but isn't able to finish. Sizer not really going for the finisher too. He's not really wanting to chase down the kills. He might be peeking this left side. Let's see if he's able to get an angle there. Fully charged shot, misses the scout. And if you're looking at the positioning from AG, they have their combo fully back in the lobby. As I say that, Rando goes down to Sizer. And the 6v5, that's what BP is looking for. Sugar peeking in to get eyes on the combo, and he knows the combo are playing in the spawn right now, playing very scared of Sizer. Squitter trying to make some space for his team, but his team is so far back off the point that BP are pushing in for free, not having to force. Banny trades with Boink though, and that's a bit of a mistake by Shade and Banny. They didn't really pop their Ubers. Now Ubers are popped at the same exact time, and AJ are going to be able to hold this. Lansky going down, and AJ pushing them out. He takes out Shade. Sugar tries to go in and takes out Drogo, though, and he's pulling the rest of the AG team back, holding them out a little bit longer. BP 3 players up as Sizer gets a decent shot onto Christoph, almost takes him down to 20 health. Sizer trying to get another angle onto Spire, and the soldiers from AG are trying to pressure him out. Squitter goes for Banny. Gets taken out, a little bit overextended by him, and I don't know if AG are going to be able to hold this Spire. They're not even going to be able to cap it. Lansky contesting it very nicely. Randall backing out with just 100 health. And BP do have the man advantage. They want to push last for another 7 seconds. They need to get in right now if they want to do this. And Shrugger is already in, pressuring the point, forcing Randall to try and defend that, and Banny takes him out. Lansky also doing some nice pressure moves from the behind battlements, and that's going to bring it to halftime. 3-0, very quick. Very nice moves by BP. Again, BP winning the mids on DM, and then they're not allowing AG any chance to push out. So showing some early dominance in this match. Pretty tough for AG. I mean, they're just waiting on BP are just waiting on Sizer to make that pick, and even though Kapow got the pick, and Drogo and or not Drogo, sorry, Rando is trying to make a move in the lobby to try and make something happen with it, but they're really not able to find anything. When you're in that situation, you need to just sack a person right away. Try and get that force to happen. You can't just sort of pussyfoot it in the lobby. But a quick halftime. We're going to be seeing the 4th mid fight. Watching the eyes of Christopher, missing the first surf. He's going to be a bit slow to mid now. He's actually very slow to mid. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. He knows Banny's so fast to mid, and he might not be able to contest that. But looks like Banny taking some heavy damage on the health pack side as the soldiers jump to take the height advantage. Kapow fighting them off that side. Sizer takes out Squid though, and Kapow trades, takes out Shrugger. 5v5 now, but AG are stuck in their own sewer. BP have so much point presence. Lansky taking out Kapow, and BP are just able to slow push out AG. Sizer chasing Christopher in the sewers. BP are going to have another mid. Look how fast AG are to back out. They're so fast to back out. And honestly, with BP arriving to mid so much faster, they're having so much more presence, and AG are just confined to their own sewer. They're getting wrecked, as Manly Toaster says in stream. 5v5 right now, even Ubers, and BP are going to begin slowly moving their way towards the Spire. Again, AG, even Ubers, but they're playing so far back. Now they're slowly inching their way up. It's hard when the other team is beating you in terms of DM on almost every single class. They pretty much outclass the other team completely. BP, of course, one of the favorites to make LAN this season. AG could make their way in there, contesting that 4th spot. It could be them or Laser Beams. It could be a number of teams, actually, for that 4th spot. But BP, definitely one of the top, I'd say, 2 teams heading towards LAN. Watching the eyes of BP now. Shade playing close towards the rock, towards the choke even. Trying to make something happen here at the choke. Banny is getting some good damage. Actually, not even really. And AG, he knows that AG are not going to push, so he's not even worried about keeping a trap up. Tagarung bombs into the 2nd point. Damage to Rando, but doesn't take him out. AG with the man advantage. Let's see what they decide to do. BP playing far back on the right health pack. Banny doing a good job keeping the traps at the choke and forcing AG to come from maybe the IT side, and AG do go for that. Even Uber pops from the IT. It's 6v5. AG might come in to follow through, but Lansky doing a nice job pushing out the choke. Shea playing pretty far back. Sugar takes out Boink. Rando takes Banny though. That's going to be a good pick for AG. Let's see if they follow through on it. Searching around for any sort of camera angle as Rando gets taken out by Lansky in the crates. And significant man advantage for BP. Oh, man. Sizer just going to finish off Kapow there. And BP with the 2-man advantage and the Uber advantage actually for Shade. So Nice play by BP. You know, they sack in Tagarung, and for a lot of teams, it's very difficult to push, even if it's 6v5, from 2 to 3. And for AG, I mean, they did a decent Uber exchange, and even at Pops, but the other team, again, beating them on DM, and it's going to be hard to combat. So, Sizer finishes off Boink there, just adding to the misery, I guess, for AG. And BP have that 40% advantage. Boink is going to be alive in time for that defense on last, though. Shade close to Uber now. Drogo only at 50%. As I think they're going to be taking Banny and Sizer on this push. Let's see where they go with it. Yeah, they're going to be taking Banny and Sizer out the left door. Sizer pressuring that the spawn doors very quickly. The sentry on the right is only level 1. Sugar and Banny both getting early picks. And I think BP are going to have this one wrapped up too as Banny pressures the point. Squid takes him out though. Kapow goes to chase out Shade, but no, BP 4-0 now. This is very hard to watch. I was hoping for a little bit more of a match here from AG. It's really tough. I mean, like I said, BP pretty much outclasses them on every class. Let's see what Boink does. Boink with a very fast rollout takes Bandy's health pack and plays the IT room. So that's going to be a decent setup for AG as they begin to move in here. Tagarung fighting a scout on the left side, yet brought down to 10 health. Boink finishes him off. 6v5 in favor of AG. Can they win this mid? Shrugger doing damage to the soldiers up top. He does have height control. Fighting a 1v1 against Squitter, gets taken out by the pistol. 4v4. AG in the decent spot right now, actually, is a BP backing out their own choke. Sizer pressuring Kapow in the sewers. Lansky playing with those heals at the choke. Kapow takes out Banny. I think AG have this one here as Kapow takes out Sizer here. Only 2 players alive for BP. Tagarung rolling out to middle. And BP do want to keep their chances at mid. They pop the Uber at the choke. They can't quite finish off Squitter, who's got the moves like Jagger. AG did get bullied out of mid, but they do have Uber advantage. And BP are not going to be able to contest this and cap this in time as AG moving in with their Uber. Getting forced by Tagarung, who gets cratered with the help of Rando. Christopher pushing BP out of the choke, and AG are going to have themselves their first mid. Their first cap, hopefully. I mean, whoa, wait a second here. BP, they don't want to let them have it for free. Sugar trying to pressure in, and the soldiers bombing in for AG to try and contest. Sugar takes out Rando, though, and I think BP are going to come back in with this. AG need to get this cap right now. They need more cap time. No, Sizer barely blocking it. AG did not get the cap. That's going to be very bad for them. BP coming in with those respawners here, and AG not going to have the benefit of the forward spawn. Sugar taking out Squid and Boink. BP with a man advantage. They're not going to let AG take a single capture point in this match. Unbelievable play by BP, and they do have that Uber advantage. So they're going to get that mid cap. They're already moving towards the second point, even through the IT room. They pop the Spire. That mid cap's going to go down for free, and they're already on the Spire. From BP all over the Spire right now. Drogo very close to Uber, but he's not in a position to contest. Boink takes out Tagarung in the lobby. It's not going to be enough here, but AG are going to begin moving themselves out to Spire. They need to use this Uber advantage to get this cap. Tagarung is dead. This is their best chance right now as Rando moves towards the battlements. Pressuring the choke side, taking some heavy pipes, and that's going to force Drogo to pop the Uber. He misses this air shot onto Sizer. Rando chasing it all the way out to mid. Finally, AG getting a recap on the Spire as Boink and Drogo both die at the choke. A little overextended here. Banny getting significant damage. Shrugger with the cleanups. Sizer, nice job taking out Christopher as well. Squitter tries to take out Shade, doesn't get it. A complete wipe for AG. Shade gonna get the Spire and full Uber advantage. This looks to be the match, folks. Banny has that left side stickied up very well. Boink trying his best to fight off Banny, but Banny with the perfect positioning. I don't know how he does it, but he literally is in the perfect position at all times to do damage without dying himself. And just as I say that, Kapow comes in on the right side and takes him out. Of course, I did a nice job there on behalf of AG from jinxing Banny. BP get forced out in the yard, and this is going to be good for AG if they can just keep Drogo alive at last. Sizer missing his shots. Finally, Lansky takes him out. BP need to do this repush. Oh, it's 3-on-3. They have the heals. Kapow trying to fight off a soldier on the right side. And Shade with the Bloodsaugger on the point. Shade looking to finish it off with the needles. That's going to be it. 5-0. A very fast match by BP. Well played by them. It was expected. Those were the Preds for this match, actually. 5-0. And very fast.